Starting today, customers can deploy the latency-sensitive portions of their applications in a wavelength zone at the edge of the Verizon 5G network in both Boston and the Bay Area in California, and then seamlessly connect the portions of their application that are running at the edge to the rest of their application and the full breadth of services that they have running in AWS. Developers can use the same familiar AWS services, APIs, tools, and functionality that they use today. Verizon is by far the leader in 5G in the US, and we're very excited to bring wavelength to these first 2 Verizon locations.
Wow, just as good the second time around. Big news. Hello and welcome to Up to Speed Live. I'm Diana Alvear, and yeah, we've got so much news to talk about. Plus, we're announcing the winner of the t-shirt contest, but let's get right back to what you just saw. Such good stuff. As you saw, 5G mobile edge compute is live for developers with AWS Wavelength at Verizon's 5G Edge in Boston and the Bay Area. And with us to talk about all of this and more is the woman that helped make this happen, the fearless Tami Erwin. She is the head of the Verizon Business Group with employees all around the world. Tami, I have to ask, how excited were you to see that yesterday? And tell us a little bit about the significance of this partnership.
Yeah, Diana, thank you so much. And yesterday was a really big moment for Verizon. As we think about the 5G global leadership that we've had over the last couple of years, there's been so much exceptional work that has been done by the network team, by the product team, by the strategy team, by the marketing teams, by the sales teams to really understand how do we continue to fuel the 5G global leadership message, because we're the first in the world to be able to deliver some of these breakthrough products. We started with mobility, then fixed wireless, and yesterday it was the commercial launch and availability of 5G mobile edge compute. And I can't think of a better partner to go to market with than AWS. And you think about it, this didn't just happen overnight. This has been years of planning. This has been really understanding what it takes to really deliver on behalf of developers and that can develop incredible solutions for customers. And that's the thing that's super exciting. Yesterday's rollout was for our customers broadly, for the industry broadly, but in particular, it was for the developer community. Because when you take the power of low latency, which is only one of the 8 currencies of 5G ultra wideband, you have the ability to do amazing things. And whether it's, shot tracker like we introduced, or healthcare applications, or smart communities and autonomous vehicles, it is going to change the world as we think about what, where, and how we play in the 4th Industrial Revolution. So it was a big day for Verizon, and I just would say a huge thank you to everyone who was involved and to our sales teams. Now the work begins, because now we begin to sell.
So exciting. I know it was so riveting and just really exciting to see all these things happening. And as you said, this is changing the world, but I'm just going to come right out and say it. You've had a very big week, Tami. I mean, you weren't just doing that. You were also involved in moderating the Women in Media panel event. I happened to watch it. I loved it. I laughed. I felt really strong feelings hearing some of these a lot of working moms talk about things that they've been dealing with. So I want to roll a quick clip, and then I will ask you a little bit about it.
Terrific. Thank you.
I do think there is something about COVID that has put more pressure back on women, because I'm the kind of woman who I always said, nope, I've got a completely equal marriage. I've got complete division of labor in my life. And I know in my family, I am definitely bearing more of the burden of COVID. So I don't know the answer, Tami, but I think it's something we need to fix, because I would just say I really worry this is going to go on, through 2020 at least, and I don't want women to lose a year. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go.
You know, I chose that clip, Tami, because I felt like it really spoke to the heart of a lot of what we're dealing with right now, that we're trying to do so much, and yet we have this pandemic happening, and women really have so much on their shoulders. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about your thoughts about that soundbite, and also why this event was so important to you.
Yeah, so first of all, let me just highlight our very own Alex Wallace, who joined us and shared her thoughts on that topic. And, it's something I really do believe as we think about the impact to families and the impact to the world of the global pandemic. Women in particular have really been impacted by it in a meaningful way. Women tend to be the CEO of their home. They're the ones that cook. They're the ones that clean. They're the ones that educate. And so as we think about parents more broadly, but women in particular, and what they're trying to do, it's a heavy burden. And so the question of how do we really help one another? How do we help each other as we think about what must be true, particularly as people are preparing for the fall? I think everybody thought, oh, we'll get through the spring, COVID will be gone, we'll be back to normal in the fall. And so hence the reason of making sure we have a loud voice here. It's part of our small business support program as well, because so many women are small business owners. And what they said to us is help us figure out a way to accelerate our recovery efforts. And so that this series that we're doing, this is the first in 5, a series of talking with other leaders about how do you do the work that you do, and putting a spotlight on the fact that women really do have an opportunity to be critical in the roles that we play, and yet have the responsibility of caregiving as well is really important. I am super proud of the fact that Verizon, I think, has taken a very intentional, purposeful role about making sure that we help Verizon employees to have caregiver capacity and capability so that we can try to squeeze in everything that life has thrown our direction. But the work that we're doing with Circle Around, which is an extension of Girl Scouts and Women in Business, is really helping us to have a loud voice here as we think about the continued fight for really equality, inclusion, and respect for all.
Absolutely. And I loved when another panelist said about how we all need to give ourselves a little bit of grace at this very difficult time. So moving on from those strong women leaders, you also had the pleasure of speaking with Atlanta's Mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, another conversation I watched. I just have so much admiration for her. And she was so grateful to you and to Verizon for helping out the kids of her city with technology. Let's roll a clip from that.
For so many, it is still a luxury. And even in communities inside the city of Atlanta, 5 minutes from downtown, there's still difficulty getting access to internet connection. I know that because when I ran for mayor, I used my grandparents' home as my campaign headquarters. 5 minutes awesome. Literally from downtown, yeah. And I couldn't get internet service in that community, which was startling to me. And as we're trying to make sure that our children have access to technology, making sure that they have devices, making sure that they have hotspots. Again, I said, this is our now normal, and unfortunately it's going to be our now normal for a while, but I think it's one at a very basic level, getting technology in the hands of our communities. And then making sure that they understand how to use it in all of the resources that are available once they have access to technology.
So those were such important words from the mayor there. Her city going through so much right now, her state going through so much. And I wanted to ask you, Tami, I was very struck by this conversation, but what did you take away from her leadership? What do you think we need to understand about that?
Yeah, first of all, she was spectacular. And she absolutely spoke from the heart. And her commitment, her conviction to take action and get things done was one of the big messages. You talked about grace. She talked about giving grace and really using the strength of her spiritual connection. And then I think the thing that was probably most important and impactful for me was she talked about we're stronger together and the importance of private-public partnerships and how we work together. And in particular, particular, she talked about education and how important it is. She talked about, and then she talked about with such conviction, how do we use this moment in time around racial injustice? She has great grandparents who were slaves, and she shared that story so openly with us. And she talked about the fact that she draws her strength from knowing that her great grandparents went through things that were much more difficult, and she now has the ability to drive transformational change in terms of the lives of others. And I just think her courage was spectacular, and I loved the conversation because she was so real.
I know. And I was so struck, as you were, by the fact that she has those pictures of her family members who were slaves on her desk, along with the list of items that one plantation owner had that included family members listed on there. So clearly she comes from some very strong family lineage, and you can see what inspires her to do her work. But as we said, this partnership with Verizon is so vital. So thank you so much for being a part of that. Now, we know that you had your webcast earlier today, so I would be remiss if I didn't ask you any good takeaways to share with the larger V-Team community.
Yeah, I think the power of communication and making sure we're talking about the things that are most impactful and that are required for us to serve our customers is really at the core of the conversation we had today. We have nearly 30,000 Verizon Business employees, and about 20% of those are outside of the U.S. And so we always have a bit of an international flair to our conversation, but there's always some common themes. And one of them today was what and how do we think about the future of our work environment? So that was really important. In particular, so many of Verizon Business employees work in customer premises. So how do we meet the needs of customers in different ways? We talked a lot about the effectiveness of our employees that are working from home and how we've been really great at serving customers that are existing customers, but how do we acquire new customers as we think about revenue growth and the importance of that to our overall plan. And then we talked about business transformation. Of course, that's core to what we do within Verizon Business because it's only been 15 months that we've been together as a team. And so that integration activity, that transformation activity on behalf of all of our stakeholders is so critical. And then we ended on one final point that's important for everybody, and that is you have a couple of final days to participate in the Employee Pulse Survey. So participate, let your voice be heard.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for that reminder. And we couldn't let you go without asking you a question that came into us from a V-teamer. We always get tons of questions for you, but the one that stood out came from Leonard. He is a VBG team member from Utah, and he wants to know, during this pandemic, we've had to change the way we do business. So how prepared were we for something like this happening? What did we do well? And what opportunities do we have to do better? Such a great question. Thank you, Leonard.
Yeah, so Leonard, thank you for asking the question and for really understanding what do we learn from what we've been through. And I will tell you, I think we were as prepared as anyone, probably more so. We run to crises all the time. No one is better prepared than our network, and that was evidenced by the way our network has performed and continues to perform for customers. So I think we were incredibly well prepared that way. I would never have imagined that we would have as many employees working from home. I would have said it was impossible, and yet we proved that anything is possible in a crisis, and that's exactly what we did. So there will be more we do and take out of this to really say, how do we change the work environment to have greater degree of flexibility? How do we make sure we're better prepared that if people have crisis situations or they're sick, they're staying home? So I think we've learned so much from this. And, the thing that is so important for me as I think about critical learnings is the dependency that customers place on us for the core of the success of their business. And whether it's connectivity, whether it's security, whether it's pro services, whether it's what we do on applications and solutions, they rely on us, they trust us. And I think we've earned a whole different degree of respect and appreciation from our customers because of the way we've shown up. And so we didn't have everything buttoned down. We're still working through some of the details, but we did an exceptional job as evidenced by our second quarter results. Now we've got more work to do. We're at third quarter, and it's about closing the quarter strong and really getting to a strong runway and a strong on-ramp for 2021.
I could not agree more. And speaking of being great in a crisis, Tami, look at you. You went from your computer to a different device in the middle of a soundbite. You made this happen. I swear, when I say you're fearless, I mean it, girl. You made it happen. Thank you so much for being with us today and telling us about all the hard work you've been doing. You've earned your weekend. You need to rest. And I can't wait to talk to you again. Thank you so much, Tami.
Terrific. Thanks, Diana. Be well.
Bye-bye. All right, so it's Friday, and we've got a fabulous V-teamer that you're going to love getting to know. You're going to meet Pepsi LaMar, and you're going to hear her My Why.
My name is Pepsi LaMar. I am a managing partner for the Northwest market, and I've been with Verizon for 14 and a half years. I currently live in Denver, Colorado. With taking this promotion to managing partner, I'm on my way up north to the Pacific Northwest. My favorite thing to do in my spare time is fish and camp with my family. We love to head out to the mountains and just catch those salmon and trout. I worked at Best Buy as a general manager leading their segmentation. And my second job was teaching cheerleading to high school students. What inspired me to join Verizon initially is being part of a larger organization that really delivers complete solutions to their clients. What motivates me on a daily basis is working for a company that provides me a platform to show my skills and my talent, as well as working alongside some incredible people and what we do in our community to help different organizations to be successful. Verizon has allowed me the opportunity to get my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, and to be certified in project management through the tuition assistance program. I want to take all of my experience and reach back and pull forward our future leaders of Verizon. One of my hidden talents is acrylic canvas painting. I immerse myself in the whole experience. If you're considering working for Verizon, I would say just do it. It has been the best experience of my life. To be able to come alongside my coworkers and to build solutions that are meaningful and to transfer that knowledge to our customers to make an impact, it has been so rewarding and so fulfilling.
She is a powerful woman, and she's a painter. How fun to meet Pepsi LaMar. Thank you so much. I love the My Why series. Okay, so we're on a roll. We're going to keep this rolling. We've got to talk about Black is King. I know you watched it. We watched it. My kids loved it. Brown skin girl. I mean, everything about this thing was fantastic. And if you're out there and you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. But we have a fantastic conversation to share with you all right now with fellow V-teamers who just love Beyonce. We've got a sneak preview for you right now.
Ladies, okay, I watched it last night. I have so many thoughts and feelings. I was literally dreaming about Beyonce. So I want to go to each of you, and I just want your first sort of gut reactions after watching it. Kayla, we'll start with you.
Girl, listen, gut reactions, phenomenal. Imagery, symbolism, boss, like Africa, home, like, I'm speechless. I literally was speechless. I watched it twice, and I was speechless after the first time. I was like, I have to take a break and just like understand what I just took in, because it was so good and there was so much of it. Like, I know I'm going to have to watch it probably 3 to 4 times to really get, right, like what she was doing in every single scene and all of the costumes and the symbolism with the hair. Like, it was everything.
Yes, I'm with you. I have to watch it again because I wrote down stuff and I was Googling like symbols and meanings, and it was like an education. Adrian, how about you?
Yeah, I have to agree with everything both of y'all said, but then also in the same aspect, I was thinking like Beyonce reads books. So either she reads books or she hires people to read lots of books. Because she schooled us, educated us. I mean, it was amazing, and it just like made me think like, gosh, I gotta read more. So yes, I loved it, every second of it, and I watched it twice all the way through, and then I just kept on jamming to different songs throughout the day. Yeah.
How about you, Stacey?
For me, it was amazing. I was just like, so much history and so much about our African heritage went into that. And to Adrian's point, Beyonce reads a lot. She researches a lot, and she has so many people in there that represented Nigeria, Ghana, just so many different countries in Africa, and it was amazing. So for me, I was like, look, Beyonce is creating her story again. You know, these are things that we've seen her do with Lemonade, with the homecoming show for Coachella, aka Beachella. And so I just thought she did an amazing job, and the visuals were on point, and I absolutely loved it. I probably watched it 4 times. I'm gonna watch it another 10 times.
Okay.
You know, before it really, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
And Mara, I see you nodding your head too.
I would echo the sentiments of everything that has been said thus far. Like when I watched it, and I've watched it twice as well, I pretty much passed out on every scene. I was like, again, like I can't take it. The wardrobes, the colors, the diversity of Black people, because we come in so many different hues and colors and sizes and shapes. And it was just beautiful. Like I was blown away.
And if you enjoyed that conversation, that is just a teaser, okay? You can head over to Inside Verizon and watch the whole thing. Okay, so now the moment that so many of you have been waiting for. If we had a drum roll, we would roll it right now. The winner of the Are You Up to Speed contest. But here's the fun news. There's a twist, okay? There are more than one winner, because Jeremy decided in his infinite generosity that because we had more than 400 entries that we should have more winners than just one, okay? So let's roll that slide, and we're going to tell you the names right now. Congratulations, Sheila Hamvey of Verizon Business Group in Ashburn, Virginia, April Yalanesian, an engineer in Wareham, Massachusetts, Silvio Marcondes, a software engineer in Sunnyvale, California on the Verizon Media team, Bernadette Marie Allen, a V-teamer in Wilmington, Delaware, and Don DeWald with customer service in Chandler, Arizona. Congratulations to you all. These 5, you're going to get some swag. We're going to be in touch with you about that. And if you didn't win, you are still winners in our hearts. All right. Thank you so much for hanging with me today on this packed day. It is Friday. It's been a long week. You've earned a fantastic weekend. Just do us all a favor. Stay safe. Have lots of fun. I'm Diana Alvear. Thanks so much again. And until next time, you're up to speed.